Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is your Modern Tech Breakdown. Today we have some news about the ongoing battle between Google and the US government. Let's jump into it. You may remember about a month ago there were leaks that the government was considering breaking up Google as part of its antitrust win in the federal courts. At the time, I speculated that the leak was a trial balloon to see what the public's reaction would be to a potential breakup of Google. And it seems like the government got the reaction they were looking for because breaking up the company is very much still on the table. Here, The Verge has an article outlining 4 areas where the government is asking the judge to constrain Google's power. Let's go over the 4 areas and then talk about what the judge is most likely to do. So the first remedy that the government is asking for is to limit Google's ability to sign contracts with phone makers and browser companies that make Google the default search engine. The DOJ says that this is the absolute starting point for addressing Google's conduct. I think this would take some time before it really has any major impact on Google, but I could imagine 5 years down the road, you could see a pattern of Google losing a certain percentage of search queries as a result of this change. But it's not like people are going to overnight go out and change their search provider. I think this would take some time to make an impact. The next area where the DOJ is asking the judge to punish Google pertains to the accumulation of search user data. The government claims that because Google gets the majority of searches, they also get the majority of click data, and that data helps Google make its search products better, and that competitors are hamstrung because they don't have this data. In order to offset that advantage, the government is asking the judge to force Google to make certain information and aspects of its product available to rivals, things like certain data or indexes. It seems like the government may be expecting Google to resist this remedy on the grounds of the privacy of its users. That would be a ridiculous argument in my opinion. There are clearly easy ways to share this important data without impacting the privacy of users. The third area that the government is concerned about is Google using its dominance in search in order to give itself an advantage in AI. The government is asking that the judge require Google let sites opt into search engines while opting out of having their data used to train AI tools. That seems like a great idea to me. I think Google should already offer this, and I know people are working on standards for how to mark content as off limits to AI training data sets, so I think that's a good thing. The fourth area that the DOJ is looking at for potential remedies focuses on search text ads. The government is looking at potentially requiring Google to license or syndicate Google's ad feed separately from its search results and provide certain kinds of information to advertisers. This area is a little bit vague in my mind. The description wasn't all that clear. I'm not sure exactly what they have in mind. But that's the 4 explicit areas that were discussed. However, I have to mention that the government also talked about, quote, structural changes. That certainly seems to hint at remedies that break up the company. So while breaking up the company has been put on the table by the DOJ, I'm not sure I would bet money that the judge is going to do that. Breaking up Google would be a huge political maneuver that I'm not sure this or any judge really wants to do. Last time that was tried was with Microsoft and it ended in failure. Microsoft was not broken up in the end. The last major antitrust case that ended in a breakup that I recall was the AT&T monopoly in the 1980s. It seems like courts are reticent to break up companies these days. So because of that, I think the government will probably get a lot of the other remedies that they've asked for short of breaking up Google. I think the judge has set about a year timeline on making this decision, so we're not going to know anytime soon, but I do think it's interesting development that the government has now explicitly stated that breaking up Google is on the table. And the next move in this case will probably be a response from Google, which will probably take some time. But that's the news for today. I'll leave this one here. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you next time.